Hello everyone. In this video we will read poem An Old Woman written by Arun Kolatkar. He was an Indian poet who wrote both in Marathi and English. He was an exceptional graphic artist and considered as premier Indian poet. So this poem An Old Woman, as the title suggests, it's all about an old woman who is a beggar. We will start reading the poem. An old woman. An old woman grabs hold of your sleeve and tags along. She wants a 50 paise coin. She says she'll take you to the horseshoe shrine. You have seen it already. She hobbles along anyway and tightens her grip on your shirt. She won't let you go. You know how old women are. They stick to you like a burr. You turn around and face her with an air of finality. You want to end the farce. When you hear her say, "What else can an old woman do on hills as wretched as these?" you look right at the sky, clear through the bullet holes she has for her eyes. And as you look on, the cracks that begin around her eyes spread beyond her skin, and the hills crack, and the temples crack, and the sky falls with a plate glass clatter around the shatterproof crone who stands alone, and you are reduced to so much small change in her hand. So the poem, it follows a formal structure. You can see that it's following a formal structure in three-line stanzas, or what is three-line stanza called? It is triplets. So the lines are short, but they are having a fixed pattern. And you can see most of the words, they are monosyllabic, and the narration is third person. So these are the basic things that we should discuss at the beginning of the poem. So the old woman is referred to using third person personal pronoun. So the poem, the you in the poem makes the reader feel as though he is the tourist, right? So the poet's word choice and imagery, they are stark and realistic. So when we read the poem in the what we see that the reader is given a glimpse into a moment in time for the tourist visiting the ancient land of India. And we can see the scenario is unforgettable, as is the character that is burst upon him. The character, or we can say the person, the poet, he is accosted by an old beggar woman on the deserted hills of Jejuri. Impoverished and repeatedly referred to as old, she is again and again referred as old. She is helpless to do anything other than what she does. However, she does not just beg. She is offering a service, which in this situation the tourist does not need. If you read the poem, you will come to know that an old woman grabs hold of your sleeve and tags along. And what she wants? She wants a 50 paisa coin. But she is offering her services also. She says she will take you to the horseshoe shrine. So we see that she is offering a service which in this situation the tourist does not need. The tourist says you have seen it already. So the old woman will not let him go. Eventually he tires of her hold on him, so he turns to stop this disgraceful scene. He is getting embarrassed because she hobbles along anyway, though the author, he has seen that place, that shrine, that temple, but still she is hobbling along anyway and tightens her grip on your shirt. She has tightened the grip and she won't let you go. You know how old women are. So this line suggests the embarrassment of the poet. they stick to you like a burr. Using simile, the poet is describing the beggar. The poet is describing the attitude, or we can say the behavior of the old woman. So the old woman will not let him go. Eventually, he tires of her hold on him, and he actually looks at her face and into her eyes. You turn around and face her with an air of finality. You want to end the farce, right? So the poet does, he just want to end this scene. He does not, uh, he just turns to stop this disgraceful scene. He is not at all liking this scene. When you hear her say, what else can an old woman do on hills as wretched as these? But now, the poet, or we can say the person, when he actually looks at her face and into her eyes, he is able to see through the woman and into the hills, and they become as one. So finally, he is able to understand the old woman's plight. Read the line. And as you look on, the cracks that begin around her eyes. The cracks, yes, they refers to the wrinkles that has grown around her eyes. So he has understood the old woman's plight. So nothing can change things for the old woman. The poem is a meeting point for two cultures. You will see, and the hills crack and the temples crack and the sky falls with a plate glass clatter around the shatterproof crone. So the shatterproof crone is old woman, and she is standing alone. And now the poet says that you are reduced to so much small change in her hand. So, the poet is describing the two worlds, two cultures. The one culture, tourist, the world of tourist, and the other, ancient Indian woman. Symbolically, the tourist's initial lack of sympathy for the woman and her repeatedly asking for money, it represents the world's view of the poverty stricken countries of the world. People are so poor. Some people are they are so poor that and some people they are less empathetic, and they don't see the plight of these poor people. So if you cannot see it, it's not there. The tourist intends to make her leave him alone, but is reduced to small change in her hands when he see the hardships she has to endure. So when he comes to know that the plight and the hardships of the old woman, then he is reduced to small change. The eyes of the woman, they are described as bullet holes. These suggest the struggles that she has endured. So they are synonymous. So they can describe, they are symbolic also, because they can describe the socio-economic status of India, where even a 50 paise coin is precious to the old woman. And then he understands her disturbing statement. The woman, she gives a very pathetic statement. What else can old woman do? If you read this line, what else can an old woman do? You can feel the plight, you can feel the poor pathetic condition of these old women, or we can say beggar, in the country. So the poet, he has described the poor condition of the beggar. So the old women eyes, they are just two gaping holes filled with empty air, with the hills and the sky. And then the cracks begin around her eyes, and they are spreading beyond her skin, and then the hills crack, the temples crack, and the sky cracks, and the sky finally shatters and falls like a plate glass. So the old woman herself is shatterproof. Nothing can happen to her. She is considered as shatterproof. So this is an irony. Only you get instantly reduced to small change in her hand. It's you who shatter, because her eye are already bullet holes, which are formed with cracks around the holes. So we can see how he has presented the old women, the old woman who we can see that it's just a very common enough experience, the experience of misjudging someone. Because in the first part, the author, he is getting irritated, he is getting embarrassed by the old woman, and in the second part, in the last part, in the final part, he has understood the plight and the problem and the suffering of this that lady. So if we see the line, they stick to you like a burr. So here the poet has used comparison. They stick to you, they here old woman, so they are compared like a burr. So the poet is confident that we will have had a similar experience with a beggar, that we will automatically share the same views as him. He says, you know, okay, so he is saying that it's a very common experience, and it always very difficult to know how to react whenever we encounter a beggar. So we can get into habits of their behavior. So should we help, or say a few kind words, or offer them money, or should we be scared and view them with suspicion? So the poem is also about the same thing. So halfway through, the character really looks at the old woman for the first time, looks at her eyes, at her suffering, at her as a human being, with all the hopes, dreams, pain and beauty common, that is common to all humanity. So and in that instant of recognition, his attitude is completely transformed. He suddenly has understood, in this line, what else an old woman do. This line, it is the moment of transformation. So when you see this is a moment of transformation, and the importance of this change in perspective is underlined, because there is a change in the language of the poem also. There is a change in the behavior of the poet. There is a change in the language of the poem. So where the first half has been written in a very casual, ordinary and unpoetic manner, the second half breaks into a surreal, dreamlike, extended metaphor. You can see the metaphor here clear through the bullet holes. So the when we read the first part, an old woman grabs hold of your sleeve and tags along. So these lines, they show the irritation of the poet. The poet is getting irritated. The woman grabs hold of the man. She is tagging along. She is wanting money, and she is offering her service. But he has already visited the place, so he does not want his her service. So when he tells her that she just follows him anyway, and she has just tightened her grip on him despite his efforts, she won't let him go, but sticks closely to him like a burr. So this is an uncomfortable physical incident, as the word grabs and grips suggest. So the simile of burr, so we have uncomfortable physical incident, as the word grabs grips suggest. And the simile of burr, it also makes us think of something stuck to our clothes that we can't get rid of, right? So this simile, it also gives a comparison. The poet's embarrassment and annoyance are very clear in these lines. You turn around and face her with an air of finality. You want to end the farce. So these lines, they show poet's embarrassment and annoyance. So the poet uses repetition to convey the perseverance of the beggar and the irritation of the character. If you see, she wants, she says, she hobbles. So again there is repetition. If you see, she wants, she says and she hobbles, so there is a repetition. And the language is also repetitive, like the beggar's action. And the repetition, it creates a bored, tired and uninspired tone. You can notice the beggar is referred to as often as the man. So, but the moment of transformation comes when we hear the woman's word. What else can an old woman do? So, the second half of the poem, it begins with extraordinary image. You look right at the sky, clear through the bullet holes she has for her eyes. So, why do you think the poet used this metaphor? Because this image, it starts a visual dream-like sequence. He is presenting the crack that are around her eyes, and they have spread so that the world cracks around her. So this could show how everything is changed for the poet or the character by sudden pity for the woman. So the poet, he has started having some feeling of sympathy for the woman. It could also suggest that the world around her seems to crack in sympathy with her suffering. So now there are three main points in the poem: the subject, the attitude, and the style. So the subject, when we discuss the subject, the poem is all about a revelatory experience in which the poet character changes their perspective completely. At first, as I have told you, the poet is annoyed by the beggar. He is aloof, he is distant, and thinks of her as a pest. He does not like her at all. He is totally embarrassed, and he does not want to see her, and he just want to end the scene that she is creating. So the image of her suffering utterly changes his view. Suddenly, it's him who feels humble and small in comparison to the beggar woman. If we discuss the attitude, the poem is about the poet's thoughts and feelings. The poet passes through a considerable range of emotions. We can see the change from irritation to almost mystical, or we can say religious experience in the concluding stanzas. So the poem is all about how all of us judge or misjudge each other. So the poet is using second person pronoun. You have seen it already. You know how old women are. So the things through this we are made to evaluate our own attitude to the poor and vulnerable, and perhaps we feel some guilt too, that how we behave poor people. The people, they are so poverty stricken people, that and we are not sympathizing with these person. So now, if we discuss the style of the poem, the language of the poem, it is split into two halves. The We can have two style. We can see there are the two types of style. The first is the bored and it's the ordinary language of the first, and the elaborate metaphorical language of the second. So repetition is used in both halves, but to a very different effects. So the repetition in the second half, it conveys the transfixed wonder of the poet watching the scene. So this fact form remains constant, and it helps to make convincing the idea that it is the same character experiencing both halves of the poem. So very beautifully, the poet has described the old woman. So the final line of the poem, it varies, and the reader is given a glimpse into a moment in time for the tourist, and we can see the scenario is totally different. So very beautifully the poet has described in a very simple language an old woman. I hope you have got the poem. Thank you.